Every day at the Pomeroy Recreation and Rehabilitation Center, thanks to the vision of its founder, Janet Pomeroy, individuals with disabilities have access to what so many of us take for granted: community, self-expression, achievement, and a chance to follow their dreams and become more self-sufficient. Through enriching classes in art, drama, adaptive technology, cooking, exercise, vocational training, and outings in the community, clients can do what they need and want to do. Not so long ago, individuals with developmental disabilities were warehoused in prison-like state hospitals. Thanks to the Lanterman Act, those hospitals were closed, and the focus shifted to placement in state-funded community settings. While California used to fully fund the operation of centers like ours, that hasn't been true for quite a while. That's why we hold the Banner of Love Gala every year, to help fill the $2.4 million gap between our state support and what it costs to support our clients. By being here tonight, you're demonstrating your deep respect and compassion for individuals with disabilities. You're also helping us honor a family that values community deeply, the Roccas. Through their work in real estate, building, public health, and their generous support of worthy causes, Greg, Tom, Sue, and Jeff have had a deep and lasting impact in the Bay Area.
First of all, I need to tell you that when I was asked to say a few words about the Rocca family, I knew I had to contact someone very special to past St. Gabriel parishioners, and that person was Bishop Frank Quinn. And what he did is he said, yes, I remember the Roccas, I remember that family. Both Mom and Dad were very involved in all the school's activities and all of their events.
When I think of Greg, I think of a guy, it's sort of at the center of a wheel, and he has all these spokes that run out, whether it's to his St. Ignatius group or his family group or the rugby team or the guys from New Zealand and Australia. And he's this sort of guy who he just touches so many lives, so many people in so many different ways.
He's just a wonderful guy. And when you meet him, he's very easy to meet. People are just love to be around him because he's fun to be with. Makes you feel good, makes everybody feel better when you're around him.
We got to know each other really well when we both arrived at St. Ignatius at the same time, and that's when we played football together, and that's sort of when we started our friendship.
He's my favorite son. That's what all my other kids tease me about Greg, because I love him so much. He lives down the street from me, and I get to see him more often than anyone else as he zooms by in his big car. He's influenced me a lot in my life.
I think Greg's at his happiest when he's surrounded by his friends and family, and we're making a meal, and we're hanging out, and we're having a discussion. We like to give each other a bad time. We like to cook meals and have fun together. So those are the constant sort of fun things that we like to do together.
There are countless people throughout San Francisco and beyond that Greg Rocca has influenced. He's been someone for others his whole life. He is not only from a standpoint of his professional career and the real estate deals that he's put together, but personally and often behind the scenes and anonymously, Greg's generosity really knows no bounds. And I think there's many people out there on a professional and a personal basis that owe a tremendous amount to Greg Rocca.
So I met Tom about 25 years ago, and we were introduced by a wonderful guy named John Sullivan. And he said, I want you to meet and keep an eye on my friend Tom Rocca. And I said, fine, John, I'd be happy to do that. And it was one of the better things that ever happened to me. Tom became my good friend and my business partner, and we've been together ever since, and it was a wonderful coincidence. Tom and I share a mindset. We both have really rotten minds, and we entertain each other. And that is the heart of our business together. If we can't create at least one major guffaw every day, then we are a failure. The most important things that have happened to Tom in the segment of his life of which I'm aware are his evolution as a husband and a father and learning about family life and his evolution as a business person, starting from scratch and building a successful business, which is not an easy thing to do. Tom is a generous and decent human being, just a hugely entertaining person to be around, and makes life worth living.
Even though Tom is quite a business person, you would think that that's what he's focusing on. He has a broader spectrum as far as his concerns, and those would be those who are underserved, students who rarely get the opportunities to have assistance.
The most important thing I think about Sue is that she is a giver, and she cares about not only her family, but the people in her community, in the world. If I would characterize Sue, I would say she's the person that you can count on, and I would aspire to be the same kind of person. If you're having a problem, you have trouble, Sue will be there. You just, Sue, what should we do about this? And she will have a plan and help you through any of those things. And I think that's is through with her volunteer work, with her occupation, and with everything she does in life. I think she's had a lot of happy moments, but the one I was able to be with her was there for the birth of her triplets, and which was a little bit of a surprise. And in Sue fashion, she took it all in stride. She's confident and self-assured in herself, and very loving and caring and warm heart. I don't think I could put Sue into one word. I'm sorry.
I was staying in the house, and with my broken arm in a room they had rigged up with a light bulb and a tarp over it, and it started to rain, and I called him, and he came over in the middle of the night and refigured the tarp so at least I would be dry. And that's just Jeff in a nutshell. He'll build you a house, he'll keep you dry. I think the happiest moment in his life, other than meeting me, was probably the birth of each of his children. You know, and family is so important to him that to, you know, have that very special thing happen, and thankfully he gave Annette a bit of credit as well. There's a confidence that's born out of his success. He's worked harder than almost anybody I know. He has achieved as much as he has because of his inner strength. Here's to the Roccas. To know them is to add to one's life. To be part of Jeff's family has certainly changed mine.
His parents must be so proud of them wherever they are, that these children of theirs have kept their lives together. They all live near one another. They get together all the time. That's a nice feeling to have.
You know, there's a lot of memories, but I think sort of a constant theme with the Rocca family was always their generosity. And Sunday night dinners at their house were always a big thing because they deliberately went out and bought a table that sat about 30 people. So whether it was a friend of Tom's or Jeff's or Sue's, everybody was welcome. It was just always fun. And their grandparents were there, all the Roccas, and it was just, that's the sort of group of people they are. They are giving, they're generous, they care about people, and they create that sense of family and fellowship that was really a special part of my life, and it still is to this day. That's the way they are.
I'm Cristin, and I am the first and favourite of Greg's entourage of godchildren, lucky enough to spend my life spoiled, rotten, trips to Toys R Us, my first car, countless trips to Boonville, the list goes on. I'm also a fellow SI Wildcat alumni and spent countless hours at the Pomeroy Center. I know firsthand what the center means to the individuals that attend and the families involved. And Greg and the Rocca family, you are truly amazing for supporting such a great cause. So, from the land down under, if I could ask you to all raise your glass and cheers to the Rocca family and to the Pomeroy Center.